Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at TV33WHPR.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Good morning, Highland Park, and welcome to Highland Park Highlights. I'm your host, Rod Liggins, and we're glad you're starting your week and your day off with us. In true Michigan weather fashion, it's a balmy 33 degrees outside, and we're going to reach another high of just about 50 today. We want to go into some brief news headlines, and then we're going to talk about the upcoming vaccine program that's going to be serving the citizens of Highland Park. This past week, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp has signed a number of measures into law that many say will make it harder for people of color to vote in future elections. Some of the laws include limiting the number of absentee ballots that voters can receive, as well as curbing Sunday voting. And this was important because a number of black churches in the state of Georgia they had the program where it was called Bring Your Souls to the Polls. And as you know, that state turned blue for the first time in decades. It went for then candidate Vice President Biden, and it also has elected 2 Democratic senators. So these were some things that were brought up in the news, and it was in the talk shows over the weekend. And civil rights groups are looking at just how to go about proceeding with handling this, because we all know that voting is very important, and we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to vote and is able to exercise their right. You can actually face criminal charges if you provide food or water to someone standing in line. And because of the limited number of ballot drop-off boxes and the limited number of places you can actually place your vote, a lot of Georgians are going to be standing in that blazing southern sun. So it would stand to reason people would want to assist them with some type of food and water so they don't end up leaving the line. But these are some ongoing things, and I'm sure we'll hear more about this in the very near future as far as legal challenges to these laws. President Biden says he's working on a plan to curb the thousands of immigrants that are flowing through the U.S.-Mexican border. He states that right now there are a number of children that are being brought through, and Republican lawmakers say the country's safety is at risk unless something is being done to turn the tide of those incoming citizens seeking to be U.S. citizens. Reverend Al Sharpton was joined by the family of George Floyd yesterday during a Sunday vigil for the slain man who died after fired Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin kept his knee on his neck for nearly 10 minutes. The family of George Floyd stated that they're hoping for a peaceful response as the trial is set to begin this week after a week-long jury selection process. Former Officer Chauvin is facing multiple murder charges in the death of George Floyd. The Michigan Wolverines have advanced to the Elite Eight yesterday after beating Florida State 76-58. The Wolverines will take on the UCLA Bruins tomorrow, Tuesday, as they seek to reach the Final Four in the NCAA Championship Series. And whether you're a U of M fan or a Michigan State fan, or even like me, have gone to Eastern Michigan, we all are cheering for the folks to go blue tomorrow, and hopefully they'll advance as they seek their first championship in quite a few years in men's basketball. The Highland Park Water Department and Customer Service Center will be hosting a distribution event where residents will have access to pick up water filter replacements for their previously received water filters. If you have not already received a water filter, you are limited to receiving one per household. To qualify, you must be a Highland Park resident and bring a copy of your photo ID for verification. Be prepared to fill out paperwork from the state of Michigan, and be mindful that in the lobby of City Hall, there will be limited to 4 customers at a time, and you are required to wear a mask upon entry. Residents 50 and over will be able to receive the COVID vaccine starting tomorrow. Coming up after the break, we'll have a special guest with all the details, including dates, times, and the numbers you need to call to make an appointment. And we're dedicating this show to the seriousness of folks getting the vaccine. So stay tuned, grab yourself a cup of coffee, but be sure to come right back as we have more on the COVID vaccine program for Highland Park residents on Highland Park Highlights. We'll be right back.
Finally, I just got my COVID-19 vaccine.
I registered with my local health department and they called me.
I got mine at the pharmacy, and my neighbor got hers from the hospital.
I'm not a techie person, so I called the COVID hotline, and they helped me schedule an appointment.
Get vaccinated with the first vaccine you can. Protect us all.
Learn more at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine.
I'm joined today by Maureen Taylor and Louis Pisker to let you know about a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office.
Do you know someone, family or friends, that need help with finances? Do you know people having trouble making ends meet, especially with property taxes or other payments? The Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help. Treasurer Sabri invites you to visit the new Financial Empowerment Center, 400 Monroe, on the 5th floor in downtown Detroit.
We've partnered with the Wayne County Treasurer's Office and the City of Detroit to provide free one-on-one financial counseling to help you address problems related to utility bills, property or income taxes, credit repair, and other financial matters. Our professional counselors can also help you plan your monthly budget and increase your credit score.
This service is available to all Wayne County residents. For free and private financial counseling, contact the center at 313-322-6222 and make an appointment today.
If you need a car today, use credit, bruise credit, or in need of a financial miracle, my name is Mr. Green, the Financing King. Got a small down payment and proof of income. You can drive away today in a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. Call me, Mr. Green, 313-350-4188. I have over 35 years of experience and an unlimited selection of reliable, certified vehicles. Call Mr. Green, the Financing King, 313-350-4188.
Watch Anthony Adams, We, Detroit. We deserve better. Live on Mondays from 11 a.m. to noon on WHPR TV 33 Detroit. And live stream on Facebook. We, Detroit. We deserve better.
I'm attorney Carl Collins III. I'm attorney Carl Collins III. Hello, I'm attorney Carl Collins III. If you've been injured and you need help, make the best call on your worst day. Call me at 855-CAR-HIT-YOU. That's 855-CAR-HIT-YOU.
And welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. I'm your host, Rod Liggins. It's just about 10 after 8 on Monday morning, and I want to welcome Alexis Ramsey, the Vice Chair of the Michigan Democratic Black Caucus, for joining us here today. I want to say good morning.
Good morning, Rod.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very good. It's a great day. It's a chilly day. You know how Michigan is. You can go from wearing short sleeves to now I got my winter coat and scarf this morning.
Oh, my goodness. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure that we keep it warm and stay healthy regardless of what the weather is. And I tell folks, don't get surprised about weather in Detroit because in the state of Michigan, it changes. I spoke to someone that was a few hours up north, and they had rain and looked like snow flurries.
Oh, Lord.
And we were down here in 50 and 60 degree weather. So Michigan is like that. I brought you on today because I wanted to talk about the vaccine process that's coming here. Before I go with a couple of Q&As, I just want to share the information with the viewers. The Highland Park and Hamtramck residents 50 and over, there is a free COVID vaccine program that starts tomorrow, March 30th, and it runs through April 3rd, and then it begins again on April 6th. The hours are 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. But here's the thing, you must register and call and make an appointment. We do not want you to say, oh, well, let's just show up, da-da-da. There may be opportunities for that, but we want to make sure that everyone registers and calls. So if you're in Highland Park, the number you want to call is 313-580-3208. Again, that number is 313-580-3208. If you're in the Hamtramck area, you want to call 313-580-5539. If you're in Hamtramck, again, you want to make sure to call 313-580-5539. And Alexis, the first question I have is, we've been in the pandemic coming up on over a year now, and the focus has been now in 2021 getting vaccinated. When you look at an event like this in a city such as Highland Park, what goes into planning and strategizing how to get folks vaccinated?
It's a lot. So first, it's a team that's working together, of course, under Mayor Yap, Charmaine Robinson, Sue Narander, Jennifer from the county, the Say Clinic Detroit. You have Detroit Area on Aging, who's helping with transportation. So there's a lot of factors that go into just creating the event within itself, trying to make sure the facility is, clean and we have all the chairs and tables and all these things that we need. And so you get this group of people together, and we're meeting, and then the county reached out to us to say, hey, we have this number of vaccines available for these available dates, because our first vaccination clinic went so well that they were very impressed with the way Highland Park basically moved the people. We had about a 15-minute wait. Overall, that means coming in, filling out your paperwork, going through the gymnasium. Well, we go through the locker room into the gymnasium. You get your shot, so it's about 15 minutes for that process. Then we have a waiting area, and then you're going to wait there about another 15 minutes to make sure you don't have any type of adverse reaction to the vaccine. And then from there, you're on your way out the door. So a lot of partners it takes to make something like this go off without a hitch.
And having gone out to the event, it was great to see the volunteers that came out, because, like you said, we're talking about hundreds of people that came out over that period, and some were unsure, some were a little nervous. They wanted to ask questions, and I noticed that there was a great sense of community and friendliness, and it's not over there, it's over there. These people were, you need to go over here. Let me help you over here. Would you like something to drink and sit? The other thing I noticed was how the staff that was actually providing the vaccines, how they were very patient, and it wasn't like trying to run an assembly line. No. They spoke to everyone individually. We know that this was a collaborative effort, like you spoke about, but initially, it was supposed to be in a smaller venue.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, the phones just kept ringing, and it had to be moved. Tell us about that.
Okay, well, the original event was supposed to start at the Say Clinic. And so what happened was the Say Clinic is a wonderful clinic we have here in our community. A lot of people may not be aware about the clinic. It's located at 211 Glendale, and it's called the Say Detroit Family Clinic. And at that particular clinic, they offer tons of, and let's just kind of talk about that just really quick. They offer tons of free services. So if you need internal medicine, women who may need to see a gynecologist, pulmonary, whatever you need, if you are underinsured or have no insurance, This particular clinic in our community offers those services for free of charge. And they're in the process right now of putting in a brand new pharmacy where if you're underinsured or have no insurance, you'll be able to receive free medication. So we partnered with the SAE Clinic. We said, hey, we want to get these vaccines going. That was the week that we ended up having that major winter storm out of nowhere. Yes. Again, hitting that Michigan, right?
There you go.
Warm one week, snow in the next.
That's it.
So we had an overwhelming response. We were truly surprised by the response that we had. So within 3 days, we said, okay, look, we're going to have to change the venue because we had over 350 people one day, around the same for the next day. So I reached out to the mayor, of course, and said, hey, Mayor, look, as a matter of fact, Jennifer, this is our ongoing little story. We had to call and wake them up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Because we knew that in order to make this program move, we were going to need a larger space. We said, hey, can we use the rec? Of course, he said, no problem. Whatever you guys need to do, let's just get it done. Because his thing is getting shots in people's arms.
Right.
And so is the county. So we did a walkthrough of the rec that Monday morning. We had to change flyers. We had to change news media, thanks to you, Rod. And sending it out like, hey, the venue has changed. Yes. And so we were able to get that done. And so that's how we ultimately ended over at the rec and not at the SAE Clinic on Glendale. So we're hoping for the same amount of people to come out. Actually, this time we're going to be able to offer 460 shots per day. So we need as many people to call in as possible. The goal is of trying to get about 1,700 shots, or a little over 1,700 shots in people's arms over the course of these days.
Okay. And just so you know, we're going to give those numbers out and the locations and the location, that is, several times throughout the show. So I want to reiterate that starting tomorrow, March 30th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., that goes all the way until April 3rd. Then it picks up again next week on April the 6th. And we want folks to register. You have to register to make sure that you're in the place and they have your information so that you can come in and get your vaccination. This is extremely important because we're dealing with a pandemic, and the only way to flatten this curve is through vaccination. We're not saying get rid of your masks and get rid of your gloves and the social distancing, but the focus has got to be about vaccination. So here's the number that you need to call. We have one for Highland Park and one for Hamtramck. If you've already been vaccinated, share this with your neighbors. Share this with your family members. To register for Highland Park, the number is 313-580-3208. Again, if you're a resident of Highland Park, you want to call 313-580-3208. In Hamtramck, we want you to call 313-580-5539. Again, that number is 313-580-5539. We're going to take a quick break right now. It's just about 8:20 on this Monday morning, and come back because we're going to have more information about how this all came together and why it's so very important for Highland Park residents to get vaccinated. We'll be right back.
I'm joined today by Maureen Taylor and Louis Pisker to let you know about a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office.
Do you know someone, family or friends that need help with finances? Do you know people having trouble making ends meet, especially with property taxes or other payments? The Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help. Treasurer Sabri invites you to visit the new Financial Empowerment Center, 400 Monroe, on the 5th floor in downtown Detroit.
We've partnered with the Wayne County Treasurer's Office and the City of Detroit to provide free one-on-one financial counseling to help you address problems related to utility bills, property or income taxes, credit repair, and other financial matters. Our professional counselors can also help you plan your monthly budget and increase your credit score.
This service is available to all Wayne County residents. For free and private financial counseling, contact the center at 313-322-6222 and make an appointment today.
If you need a car today, use credit, bruised credit, or in need of a financial miracle, my name is Mr. Green, the financing king. Got a small down payment and proof of income? You can drive away today in a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. Call me, Mr. Green, 313-350-4188. I have over 35 years of experience and an unlimited selection of reliable, certified vehicles. Call Mr. Green, the financing king, 313-350-4188.
I'm attorney Carl Collins III. I'm attorney Carl Collins III. Hello, I'm attorney Carl Collins III. If you've been injured and you need help, make the best call on your worst day. Call me at 855-CAR-HIT-YOU. That's 855-CAR-HIT-YOU.
Watch Anthony Adams. We, Detroit. We deserve better. Live on Mondays from 11 a.m. to noon on WHPR TV 33 Detroit. And live stream on Facebook. We, Detroit. We deserve better.
Finally, I just got my COVID-19 vaccine.
I registered with my local health department and they called me.
I got mine at the pharmacy, and my neighbor got hers from the hospital.
I'm not a techie person, so I called the COVID hotline, and they helped me schedule an appointment.
Get vaccinated with the first vaccine you can. Protect us all.
Learn more at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine.
Good morning and welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. Again, my name is Rod Liggins, and Alexis Ramsey is here as my guest, and we're talking about the COVID-19 vaccine process for Highland Park and Hamtramck residents. And Alexis, we talked before about the need to move to a larger venue because of the requests from the community that they really want to get vaccinated. When we talked about the venue, it's going to be at the Rec Center at 10 Pickens Street.
Yes.
The question is, though, how can folks get there? Let's say they don't have a means of transportation. You spoke earlier about the collaboration. How is that working?
Okay, so Detroit Area on Aging is one of our partners, and what they will do for Highland Park residents doesn't cover Hamtramck residents, but if you call the number 313-580-3208 as a Highland Park resident, you can say, hey, I need transportation in order to get over to the recreation center. We will take down your name and your address, give you the time that the bus will show up, and the Detroit Area on Aging transportation system will come to your home or out to the senior building and actually pick you up. And Charmaine Robinson, who's a wonderful, wonderful senior coordinator, she's been on top of that. She's been making sure that our seniors in our buildings are properly served, people in the residence was inside of the home. So Charmaine is the one who we would pass the information over to, and she will make sure that the transportation from Detroit Area on Aging comes to your home and pick you up and get you to the rec so we can get you inoculated.
And these are the things that we want to stress when we spoke in the first series on here. It's about collaboration and communication.
Yes.
The thing is, you want to make sure you call in if you need that. I remember watching the short buses and the vans pull up, and there were folks that had wheelchairs, there were folks that had walkers, folks that had canes, and there were folks who also didn't need anything to help them walk. But I'm stressing that because we want to make sure that no matter what your physical condition is, whatever ailment what you may have as far as moving to and fro, that you're still able to get the vaccination.
Yes.
And we will try to make every accommodation possible through the city to ensure that you get that vaccination.
Absolutely. And even for our homebound seniors, if you need a shot, one of the nurses can actually possibly, and you have to fall within a certain guideline where you absolutely cannot leave your home, right? You're basically incapacitated and have, or you're elderly, right? So one of our residents, and I'm not going to say her name, but actually was able to receive the Johnson & Johnson because that's what she wanted. And so we were able to.
Let's explain. Johnson & Johnson is the one dose.
Yes.
shot.
Yes. So Johnson & Johnson is the 1-dose shot. Let's be clear, tomorrow we are offering at the Recreation Center the Pfizer shot. So that's 2 doses. You will come out the first week again, which starts March 30th through April 3rd. And then we have that following Tuesday, April 6th. But then you would turn right back around and come back to the Highland Park Recreation Center April 20th through the 24th. And I believe that second date is around April 27th. Don't quote me on that. But, so that's your follow-up appointment. But what I will say is with the partnership, and I can't really say the partnership name right now because I didn't get permission to use their name, but they were able to go out to this particular resident's home and give them the inoculation at home. So here in Highland Park, we're doing everything we can to ensure that if you can't leave the home, we will send someone to you. But we're urging everyone to come out who can come out. And if you need transportation again, please call the number. Tell them you need the transportation. But we are offering Pfizer shot tomorrow, Tuesday through Saturday, and then again that following Tuesday to all residents who want to receive it.
Okay.
Yes.
The thing I want to talk about now is the process. So I've called, I've made my appointment.
Yes.
I have contacted whether I need transportation or not. I've just arrived at the rec center.
Okay.
Walk me through that process once I arrive at the rec center to the time I'm leaving. What takes place?
Okay, so what you're going to do, as soon as you get out your car, we have volunteers who are outside ready to greet you. We also have Highland Park Police who, are outside as well if you have any issues, and we also have EMS on site. So those are the things you're going to kind of see outside. The volunteers from
So let me stop you there. We don't want folks to get in a panic if they come pull up and they see a police truck, police car, or an EMS unit. Or even a fire truck there. These are precautionary measures.
Absolutely. And this is just to ensure the safety of all people. And then also some of our firefighters and police officers are also cross-trained. So just in case you do have a reaction to the vaccination, which we had basically no reactions to the vaccination in Highland Park, they're there to serve you. So the volunteers that Wayne County has assisted Highland Park with, they will greet you at the door. You're going to come in, you're going to get your temperature taken. We have some really cool technology here in Highland Park. So you just kind of walk up to this, it looks like a larger size cell phone, maybe iPad size. You sit there, you get your, you sit there and it says, temperature is 97.7, you're good to go, right?
There's no physical contact.
No
you
physical
just stand
contact.
in front of it.
Yes, you just stand in front of it, takes your temperature, you move on. Then you'll go to the registration desk. At that registration desk, your name will be on the list. And then if your name's not on the list, we do ask for ID or some type of verification. But usually if your name's on the list, in order to keep the process moving, we take you at your word that you are the person that you are. So then you move on, and then we have other volunteers at that point who will hand you an application. And on this application, it's just kind of general. You just give your name, your address. It asks you several questions like, have you ever had COVID? Tells you a little bit about what type of vaccine you're going to receive. So at that point, if we have a little overflow in our locker room area, there are about 15 chairs out in the hallway. You would take a seat. And as the process moves on, you move into our locker room area. There, you would also be greeted by other people just saying, hey, how you feeling? Just kind of chatting it up with you. From there, you go into into the gymnasium of the Recreation Center. There we have about 15, 20 chairs in the first area. And that's part one, where you'll actually receive your vaccination. Again, like you discussed, we have wonderful nurses from Wayne County. If you have any questions, concerns, if you're nervous, they will talk to you, they'll walk you through it. Once you receive your vaccination, you then go into our waiting area again, where you wait the 15 minutes to see, make sure you don't have any issues, no problems, you're feeling good. We do offer water and juice and, some crackers if your stomach feels a little queasy. So we do have that on site as well. Once you're done, you're out the door and we're ready just to keep it moving. And another great thing about our volunteers that we have coming from the County or just Highland Parkers who've decided to come in and volunteer, we're literally cleaning and disinfecting. So every time a person gets up, you're getting sprayed down with either Microban or some type of disinfectant in the chairs, and pens are wiped down constantly, the clipboards are wiped down constantly. So we're constantly cleaning, we're constantly moving, and it's just a great experience overall. People are just so friendly, and a lot of people, and then we also had our councilwoman, Deblon Jackson, which kind of brought a little flair to our vaccination clinic. She actually played the flute, which actually was able to calm people down, because she's a world-renowned flutist. Maybe some people don't know that, but she played the flute, which also kind of helped calm people down and calms people's nerves while they're sitting there that 15 minutes and going through that 15-minute process. So, Highland Park, we always bring a little extra flavor.
And it was great. I did happen to catch the playing, and the day I was there, she was playing "Oh Happy Day."
Yes.
And you saw that on the faces of the folks, because a lot of it was seniors. A lot of them had not had contact with anyone, because a number of them lived alone. A number of them, and you saw this reconnection. And I want to stress this. I like the fact that you brought that up, that while the people were moving in and around, if you got up from a seat, someone came and disinfected that seat. It's not saying you're infected or you're germy in it, but that's just another layer of precaution that the volunteers were providing to make sure they weren't spreading anything else. And we know that I didn't see, from the time I was there, I wasn't there both days or all day, but we didn't see anyone have any adverse reactions. But I saw so many folks there that if you just raised your hand, if you felt any kind of way other than feeling your normal self, someone was there to respond to it. And we know some folks were saying their arm was sore, but that's expected when you're getting a shot.
Absolutely.
The folks who were like me, a little needle nervous is what I call it, but they talk to you and let you know. And we're going to take another break, but I want to talk about the racial disparity when it comes to the vaccine. And it's not in just say this city or just in the greater Detroit area. We're talking nationally. There seems to be a disconnect or a hesitancy for African Americans and other people of color to get the vaccination. So go and take a break with us. We'll be right back to talk more about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. And let me give those numbers out again. For Highland Park residents, we need you to call 313-580-3208. Again, Highland Park, if you're a Highland Park resident, please call 313-580-3208. And Hamtramck residents, please call 313-580-5539. Again, that number is 313-580-5539. And we'll be right back after this break to talk more about why you should get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Shelley Books and More, short stories, poetry, and art contests for the youth. Cash prizes, $300 to $500 plus prizes, no entry fee. Go to ShelleyBooksandMore.com. Contact Shelley at 313-778-8009. Submit entries now and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Shelley Books and More. Also, listen to Shelley Books and More every other Tuesday, 4 p.m. on FM 88.1 WHPR, Radio We Can See.
Hi, excuse me, do you have anything for paint?
Straight down that aisle there.
All right, thank you.
Young lady, this here's what you need.
Ringmaster?
Ringmaster rubbing oil.
How does it work?
By promoting circulation since 1950. Massage it in for best results. Ringmaster took care of my back pain.
Ringmaster got rid of my knee pain too.
Wow, it sounds like I'm late to the party. I'll take one.
Find Ringmaster at CVS, Davis Drugs, and other fine stores.
Finally, I just got my COVID-19 vaccine.
I registered with my local health department and they called me.
I got mine at the pharmacy, and my neighbor got hers from the hospital.
I'm not a techie person, so I called the COVID hotline, and they helped me schedule an appointment.
Get vaccinated with the first vaccine you can. Protect us all.
Learn more at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine.
And welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. Again, my name is Rod Liggins. I am your morning host. It's about 8:36, and if you put away the winter coat, you better pull it back out this morning because it was a chilly 33 degrees when I came in. I think it's warmed up to 37 now. We're expecting a high of maybe 50 degrees. So if you're from here and you know Michigan weather, it is what it is. And if you if you think it's stable right now, just give it a few minutes and you could see snowfall or anything else. But right now, we're expecting a high of 50 degrees. We're joined again with Alexis Ramsey, and we're here talking about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. And Alexis, you shared with me that you actually have been vaccinated,
yes.
And I'm assuming fully vaccinated, meaning both shots.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what did you do prior to get yourself ready, or did you do any research to convince yourself, and then why did you decide, okay, this is the step I need to take?
Well, actually, I've taken a class, so I'm certified contact tracer through the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, first thing.
Now, what does that mean?
So what it means is that I can actually trace from group A all the way to group C. So I'm the person that comes in and says, hey, this is the person who or persons who may have brought the infection into your building or into your population, right?
Okay.
So we trace the people from step one all the way through in so many words. So we just, but it's not really used that much here in Michigan. I think that contact tracing should be used more. That way we can find out the origin, how it started, where it's coming from, and how to slow it down.
Okay.
So that's kind of what contact tracing is. But also in that process, you learned a lot about the vaccination and what was coming. And so a lot of times people don't really understand, like for instance, your flu shot is more based out of a DNA type of material, which goes directly into the cell, right? And so a lot of times people are fearful thinking that, but with the new COVID vaccine, so for Pfizer and Moderna, and those are the two that I know about, those are called messenger RNA. So messenger RNA is more like a barrier, right, that goes around the cell where it creates these T cells, which creates these proteins around the cell. So for instance, you get the flu shot, get it in your arm, it goes directly into the cell to help create a protection from the flu. And a lot of times people don't understand the flu shot is only 40% effective. Right, when you get it, because of course you can continue to have all of these different mutations of the flu. So the great thing with Pfizer, which that's what we're offering here, so that's what I'll talk about, is called messenger RNA. So it builds a barrier around the cell, which ultimately helps you build your T cells, which ultimately creates these spike proteins on the outside of the cell. So nothing's going directly into the cell. So when coronavirus or, know the difference, coronavirus, the virus, COVID-19 is the bacteria. So so what happens is if either one of those things get into your system, you now have this barrier of T cells that's saying, hey, okay, my body's not recognizing what this is. And so it starts to kill it off. And so that's the great thing about this new vaccine of messenger RNA, is because also it's helping increase your T cells. And over time, as you get older, you lose T cells. So now you're getting a little extra T cells in your body, right? You get that boost, and it's able to fight off that disease. And what so far the research has shown is that through messenger RNA, it kills the virus where you won't get severely sick or hospitalized. Now, to be completely honest, this does not mean that you don't wear your mask. As you said, you don't continue to wash your hands. You don't, you still wear your gloves when you're going into stores if that's something you choose to do. But if you were to contract the virus, 9 times out of 10, either you probably won't know, or you will have so very mild symptoms where you're not severely sick or hospitalized and placed on a ventilator, because we all know once you get to that ventilator process, 70-80% of people don't come off of the ventilator. So by getting the vaccination, you are not only protecting yourself, you're protecting your community, you're protecting your loved ones. It gives you the opportunity to possibly give your parents a hug. My father's 82, my mom's 71. Haven't been able to hug my parents in almost a year and a half, and almost a year with this virus going on. And finally, this past Sunday, which was yesterday, finally was able to give my dad a hug because we're all fully vaccinated in the home, which also means I can remove this mask when we're in the home. According to the CDC, they say that once, if you're in a household with everyone who has been inoculated, you can now remove the mask and move forward and, you know, kind of give like a 5-10 second hug. And so to be able to have that human to human contact and to be able to hug your loved one and just, you know, be able to hug my dad and my mom was one of the greatest feelings in the world because I haven't been able to do that for so long.
Okay. And as we go on, and this is the part that I think we really need to address. So I want to make sure that when you're speaking, you speak directly into the microphone and let folks know there is a serious discrepancy between African American people and white people when it comes to the vaccination. Now, we know that a lot of folks are hesitant for a variety of reasons.
Yes.
Some have never liked doctors and probably never will. Others, they'll bring up the Tuskegee experiment where black men were unknown to them.
Yes.
Were injected with syphilis so that they could be considered human guinea pigs. And they'll see how the body acts and reacts to that injection to them. What was it about the vaccination that first convinced you to go ahead and get it? I know you said the work and the class you took, but on a personal level, I think you talked about, you know, greeting and embracing your parents, and what that meant was you couldn't embrace them if you were the only one that was vaccinated. So it took that team effort of mom, dad, and daughter to do that. But let's talk a little about how you came to the decision, how you, I don't know if you convinced your family or if they did their own research, but what are some things that we can do to increase the numbers of folks getting vaccinated in the African American community?
Well, I'm going to tell you that's a tough one, right? For myself, it was personal. I want to get back to normal. I am tired of being in a mask. I'm tired of wearing gloves. I'm tired of every time. I mean, I have a ritual. Anybody who knows me knows this, right? So I'm the mask person. I'm the glove person. I'm the person that's hand sanitizing constantly all day. I'm the person that goes home, takes my clothes off, immediately put it in a bag. You know, either for clothes that go to the dry cleaner or clothes that need to be washed, I'm taking a shower, and then I'm greeting the family. So for that reason, and plus I want to be able to protect my community and my fellow human being. I mean, for me, it was really just that simple, knowing that there's a vaccine that's out here, and we all know the racial disparities. We all know about the systematic racism. I understand that, but people have to understand that this is a novel virus. That which novel means new to human, new to Earth. This is something we've never ever experienced in 100 years of us being here on this earth. And messenger RNA, yes, it is a new type of vaccine, but if you want to be able to have freedom as well, let's just call it what it is. Eventually, the United States is going to take on a thing called a green pass, right? So if you want to be able to go to a restaurant, you want to go to a concert, you want to go to a football game, you're going to have to get inoculated. And, you know, some people feel like it's infringing on their human rights and things like that. But at the end of the day, it was because I want to get back to normalcy. Some way, somehow, because I don't, you know, what does normal look like, right? 3 years from now. But I don't think we should still be in masks and scared to take something that I believe is here to help us. It's not, you know, what happened with Tuskegee, it happened, and we can't take that away. But we can't allow fear to keep us from doing something that not only protects ourselves, but protects your family, your loved ones, your co-workers, and anyone else that you may come in contact with on a day-to-day basis.
And the thing I want to stress the most is this is a global pandemic.
Yes.
This is not just, even though it's hit the African American community excruciatingly hard, this has also hit a number of communities and the millions. I mean, when you think about globally, you think about the states who were hesitant to do this and just the tens of thousands that could have been saved if action was taken more on a more urgent level from the White House of a year ago. So we have a lot of those things, and that's the thing that I think that has convinced me was we're not talking about, man, this is just the African American community. It seems like a lot of blacks or a lot of brown people. We have seen this around the world just devastate communities and populations and thousands of lives, millions of lives. So this is what I have used, and I tell folks, do their own due diligence.
Yes.
Do your homework and make sure you find out for yourself what this means as far as getting yourself vaccinated. Excuse me. We're going to take one more break, but before we do, again, Highland Park and Hamtramck residents, this week you can get your vaccination. And we want to make sure that we're repeating this number. You write it down, you share it with your family, your friends, your church members, your neighbors, anyone that you come in contact with. Let them know whether they are hesitant, whether they've been trying to find out how to get it, but they haven't thus far. We need to make sure that everyone gets vaccinated. When Alexis was talking about getting back to normal, this may be a new normal. And that means that we may still have to do things differently. But to have that physical contact with family and friends, or to go out and enjoy a sporting event, a music concert, anything where there's a large congregation of people, you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself and you're protecting those around you, be they strangers or someone that you have a personal contact and connection with. So here are the numbers again. The vaccination process starts tomorrow, Tuesday, March 30th tomorrow, from the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're a Highland Park resident, please call 313-580-3208. 313-580-3208. If you're in Hamtramck, the number you need to call, 313-580-5539. Again, that number is 313-580-5539. We want you to register. The vaccination will take place from March 30th through April 3rd, and then again on April the 6th. It'll be held at the Ernest T. Ford Recreation Center, which is on 10 Pickens Street in Highland Park. When we come back, we'll share some final thoughts about the importance and the need to get folks vaccinated. So be sure to come right back.
This is LaWanda.
This is RJ Watkins.
Coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you, because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
Finally, I just got my COVID-19 vaccine.
I registered with my local health department and they called me.
I got mine at the pharmacy, and my neighbor got hers from the hospital.
I'm not a techie person, so I called the COVID hotline, and they helped me schedule an appointment.
Get vaccinated with the first vaccine you can. Protect us all.
Learn more at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine.
We at Watkins Broadcasting care about the health and safety of our viewers and listeners. During this novel coronavirus pandemic, please protect yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Avoid touching your face. Cough and sneeze into your sleeve. Practice social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet away from others when in public, and only leave the house when it's essential. Stay safe. You are important to us.
If you need a car today, use credit, bruise credit, or in need of a financial miracle, my name is Mr. Green, the financing king. Got a small down payment and proof of income. You can drive away today in a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. Call me, Mr. Green, 313-350-4188. I have over 35 years of experience and an unlimited selection of reliable, certified vehicles. Call Mr. Green, the financing king, 313-350-4188.
Good morning. It's 8:50. Welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. My name is Rod Liggins, and I'm joined by Alexis Ramsey, and we're talking about the COVID-19 vaccination process. We know that starting tomorrow, it will be available to Highland Park and Hamtramck residents, and we want to make sure that nothing stands in the way. If you need a ride, we want to take care of that. If you need someone to speak about this, we can help you with that as well. But the objective and the goal of this process is to get everyone vaccinated. That cannot be stressed enough, because we want to do more than just spend another year staying indoors. We want to do more than spend another year. The only way you're communicating is through phone calls or Facebook Live or Zoom calls. We want to engage with one another, but the only way that can be done in a safe and healthy way is with the vaccination. So we're talking about getting the vaccination, and we talked about with Alexis Ramsey here. She said she got her self-vaccinated, her parents vaccinated.
And I don't have horns growing out my head.
Yeah, there's and that's the other thing is, you know, we have these places where once you're vaccinated, you don't just leave right away. They have you there for 15 minutes because they want to see if your body has any adverse reaction to that, and they want to make sure that if something happens. So when you come out to the rec center and you see medical personnel, you see an EMS unit, or you see a fire truck on the scene, that's to the precautionary in the event of. That's not, we're going to have a lot of this or a lot of that and going to put folks in panic. But right now, if you had a chance to tell someone or convince someone, you give 60 seconds, what would you say to that person or those people?
I would say, please come and get the vaccination. This is not just about yourself. This is about mankind. This is about your fellow human being. This is about normalcy. This is about us trying to get to 80% herd immunity in order for us to get out of these masks. And again, this is about your fellow neighbor and human being and not being able to infect that next person and to slow the virus down. And it's critical to our survival as African Americans that we take advantage of this particular vaccination because, again, it's novel, new to earth, new to human. And the only way for us to get back to some type of normalcy is to get vaccinated. And so I would just urge anyone to come out and just to be able to get back to normal, really.
And that's the thing that I think most people stated when we were in the throes of it last summer. The folks who had travel plans to go see family members or just to get away on a vacation, you know, you don't know the vaccination level of the people on the plane. You don't know the vaccination level when you're standing in line someplace or if you want to attend a sporting event. We've seen 300 or 400 people showing up in an arena that holds tens of thousands of folks.
Absolutely.
So we know that there's a huge impact. We found that a number of restaurants and businesses have shut down, some for good, because there were just not enough people coming in to patronize these businesses. So there's a number of reasons, but I tell folks, you have to find that for yourself. You know, I know a lot of folks, especially seniors, they miss church.
Yes.
And they want to make sure they get an opportunity to get back to church, even if it's social distancing, even if it's in a way where the folks are so far apart from one another. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we are doing everything we can to make sure we are able to interact safely with one another.
Absolutely. And again, that goes back to normalcy, right? And understand that Israel has created the Green Pass. Britain, the UK has just taken on the Green Pass. So shortly, here in the United States, the Green Pass is coming. And again, if you want to be able to go out and do the things that we call normal, you look at Thursday's opening day for the Tigers. That's like a holiday in Detroit, right? That is a holiday in Detroit.
And even the surrounding areas, whether you're in a Highland Park or Hamtramck or Troy or whatever, all of these places,
it's a holiday.
There are folks that will take time off from work. Some will take off from work and they know they should be at work and they don't want to be on camera. But yeah, the first day for a Tigers baseball game, the home opener, is huge in this region.
And what I'm saying with that is that, but because of COVID, you're only allowed to have 8,000 people in that entire stadium. So again, vaccinations are important. We can't make you do anything because it's your body and it's your choice. But what I will say, if you want to hug your loved one, be able to interact with your children without a mask, be able to interact with your parents, your grandparents, your loved ones, co-workers, things like that, please come out, get vaccinated. Again, I'm fully vaccinated. I don't have horns growing out of my head.
And that's the thing we want to make sure we stress is for folks to come out. And again, before we go off, we want to make sure that everyone's aware. Highland Park residents, please call 313-580-3208. 313-580-3208. Hamtramck residents, 313-580-5539. Once again, that number for Hamtramck is 313-580-5539. The vaccination process will begin tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It'll run from March 30th through April 3rd, and once again on April 6th. So we're asking that you register, you get your family and other members that are family and friends, neighbors, co-workers, ages 50 and over. Please get them registered to come out and get vaccinated. I want to thank my guest, Alexis Ramsey, for coming out with me this morning.
Thank you, Rod.
Highland Park, we want to stress as much as we possibly can. Please make sure you come out and get vaccinated. Join us next Monday for another episode of Highland Park Highlights. Have a great Monday and have a great week.